So what's up, everybody? While I'm doing this, I hope y'all can hear me. I want to take the time to talk about the new American Crime Story, Impeachment or whatever. Um, and basically, it's another Ryan Murphy historical drama or whatever. But this one is about the whole Monika Lewinsky and Bill Clinton scandal from like the early 90s or whatever. Um, and then like the first episode's titled Exiled or whatever, and then I'll get into like the meaning of the title like in a little bit or whatever. But um, the first episode basically did like a setup of like characters, basically like character establishment. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it does like a little bit of time jumping because that in the beginning, the show starts off or whatever, 1998, and it's Monica played by her name's Beanie Feldstein or whatever. That's Jonah Hill's little sister, the dude from like Superbad and from The Wolf of Wall Street or whatever. She's in it or whatever. She plays Monika Lewinsky. And I think I'm pretty sure she can already start like writing her Emmy speech or whatever because but anyway, so yeah, it opens up 1998 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Monica is somewhere packing up, she's like in an apartment or whatever, you know what I'm saying, packing up her stuff, going through pictures or whatever. She comes across like a newspaper headline or whatever, you know what I'm saying, Bill Clinton is about to, you know what I'm saying, serve his second term, which, you know what I'm saying, we did. And like the thing about, you know what I'm saying, these Ryan Murphy historical dramas, you know what I'm saying, starting with, what was the first one he did? He did, it wasn't Versace. What was the first one he fucking did? Oh, The People versus OJ, you know what I'm saying? It's always fun, like, to try and, like, Google and, like, fact check, you know what I'm saying, how much of the story got right or whatever. This impeachment one, Monika Lewinsky is an executive producer on the show or whatever, so hopefully I'm thinking like there's a little bit more accuracy and truth telling or whatever of her side anyway, of her accounts or whatever, with the story or whatever. So anyway, so Beanie Feldstein, she's playing Monika Lewinsky. The story opens up, the show opens up. She's in an apartment, packing up, about to head somewhere or whatever. Bill Clinton's about to do his second term or whatever. And then again, what I also want to like with this like how like they establish these like characters or whatever. Ryan Murphy directed this first episode. Like you guys did like a really great job at like fat shaming at Linda Tripp, you know what I'm saying? Who's already like in the first like 10 minutes, we already like know she's like the villain. Like we already know that we're gonna hate Sarah Paulson, who Sarah Paulson is like the kind of like the fucking like Johnny, like Sarah Paulson is to Ryan Murphy what Johnny Depp is to Tim Burton. Like whatever prosthetic, makeup, costume, wig, you know what I'm saying, Ryan Murphy tells Sarah to put on, she'll do it and she'll fucking nail it or whatever. So she's Linda Tripp and she's the villain, right? So like one of my first observations was, you know what I'm saying, like Monica, she's at the gym or whatever, we're in the 90s or whatever. Linda Tripp wants to meet her in like a food court of some mall or whatever, the Pentagon City Mall or whatever, to talk about something or whatever. And then there's like a slow and steady like, you know what I'm saying, sequence where like Monica's like being like followed by like Secret Service agents or whatever. Then she goes to like sit down and then Linda appears with like two like, you know what I'm saying, two basically more like Secret Service agents or whatever. And like, oh, like they want to come talk to you, you know what I'm saying, they did the same to me. And like Monica's like, huh? Like what? I read in like one of like the reports like recently or whatever, like they took her up to like a hotel room suite, whatever. It's a Ritz-Carlton that is like attached to the mall in Pentagon City or whatever. But one of the reports I read that was like Monica got up there and then before the credits or whatever, like Linda Tripp is in like the adjoining room or whatever and they're about to close the door and Monica's like, no, like I want you to hear, you know what I'm saying, like I want this bitch to hear everything that she like fucking put me through or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But in like one of the reports I read, like Monica spent like 20 minutes like crying for her mom. And like mind you, she was only like a 20-something-year-old girl at this time, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But most of the episode, you know what I'm saying, is basically about how much we're going to hate Linda Tripp. Sarah Paulson as Linda Tripp. So I'm just going to get into one of the scenes where Linda Tripp is in the bathroom or whatever. And then we get our first scene of Edie Falco. Edie Falco is going to play Hillary. So we get our first scene of fat ass Linda Tripp, you know what I'm saying? Again, Sarah Paulson, she's in prosthetics, a bad wig, and you know what I'm saying? She's fat Linda Tripp. She stumbles upon Hillary in the bathroom, and Hillary, you know what I'm saying, Edie Falco and Hillary Clinton drag. She's you know what I'm saying, at the vanity, you know what I'm saying, at the counter or whatever, and like Linda's like, you know what I'm saying, giving her like a look that I can only describe as like, you stupid bitch, you know what I'm saying? Linda's like looking at Hillary like, bitch, you so stupid, you don't even know like your man is like cheating on you, da da da, you know what I'm saying? We don't know this yet. You know what I'm saying? But like Linda's like looking at her like, you know what I'm saying, like, bitch, like I don't like you, you know what I'm saying? And like Hillary is like in her own world applying her lipstick or whatever, just walks out. Throughout the episode, like we see like the dynamics of the like the female, the women characters in the show. Linda, again, like I can't stress this enough because my Ryan Murphy, you directed this episode, you did this, you did a great job of pinning Linda Tripp as like the fat, miserable villain that nobody likes, right? So Linda, you know what I'm saying, the other female that, you know what I'm saying, Linda works with, I forgot her name. Her name's like Leslie something or whatever. But basically, you know what I'm saying, it's a faux relationship. They spend their time gossiping, you know what I'm saying, like whispering behind office doors and shit like that, whatever, sharing gossip. Linda works at this time for some guy, and then again, you have to like Google and fact check this. His last name is like Foster or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So something happens where Linda, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this is the one of the scene I wanted to point out. So again, I'm already my fault. I'm fat shaming Linda. We get to the scene where like she's in the cafeteria getting lunch and she gets a fucking cheeseburger with fries or whatever, but it's for the guy, her boss basically that she works for. She stops and gets like a box of M&Ms or whatever. She brings it to the guy or whatever, but I forgot what it's something that he's going through or whatever. And again, like you have to like fact check and like Google search. You know what I'm saying? All like these Watergate, you know what I'm saying, White House scandals from back in the day or whatever. But, you know what I'm saying, again, spoiler alert or whatever, he ends up like, there's like this like dramatic scene where like, he tells Linda like, oh Linda, you can have like the rest of my like M&Ms or whatever. And she goes into the office or whatever, like the M&Ms are like scattered, you know what I'm saying, across like the tray or whatever on his half-eaten lunch or whatever. Then we see like the guy, he goes off into like the woods and like there's like this big dramatic sequence of him pacing back and forth with a gun. And then, you know what I'm saying, without showing it, we hear like the gun go off, right? And then so like the next day, Linda shows up and everybody's all in like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying, da 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 da, you know what I'm saying, everybody's in shambles or whatever. So she gets to her office or whatever, and there's people who are standing in front or whatever, and she's like, what's going on? And then we get the sense that, like, Linda, you're not as important as you would like to believe you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're the guy's, like, secretary or whatever, she sees, like, somebody, like, some agent, FBI, presumably, you know what I'm saying, go into the guy's office and take out, you know what I'm saying, like, a file that says Watergate on it. And she's like, hold on, what do you think you're doing or whatever? You don't have authority or whatever. And, like, he's like, bitch, like, get out the way. Like, I have all the fucking authority. Like, you don't or whatever. So, again, like, we get the sense that, like, Linda, you know what I'm saying, like, she has power struggles, you know what I'm saying, within the workplace. So, again, like, the episode goes through, like, Linda goes through basically, like, a sequence of employment, basically. Her and, like, the girl, like, the lady Leslie or whatever. We get to, like, this one scene where, like, Linda tells, like, the lady Leslie, like, you know what I'm saying, you need to go to the president, you know what I'm saying, and, like, you need to ask him for, like, a job or whatever. A couple scenes later, like, the lady comes back or whatever, and she's like, oh, like, I went into his office or whatever, and he kissed me or whatever. And then so, like, Linda, like, you know what I'm saying, felt some kind of way about that or whatever. We see, like, a couple more sequences where she's, like, basically her and, like, the lady are on, like, a job interview with these two people or whatever, and turns out that the lady, she gets the job, but Linda doesn't or whatever. Fuck. Okay. So, hold on. Just gotta make sure I do this right. Um, I didn't do this right. Fuck. I didn't do this right. I didn't do this right. I didn't do this right. What was I about to say? What part am I at? So, ugh. Okay. Damn it. I'm sorry, y'all. This is like distracting me. I gotta take my time doing this. Okay, that's good enough. Leave that right there. So yeah, where am I at? I can put this in here. So yeah, back to the thing. So midway through the episode, we see that Linda Tripp, she's fat, she's miserable, she's struggling for power in the workplace. Most of her relationships with people, well, the one relationship with the girl that she, with the lady that she works with is based on gossip. The lady gets the job, Linda doesn't. And then the episode is titled Exiled or whatever, and then we get to the part where it makes sense. Linda Tripp is exiled to the Department of Defense, which looks like the most miserable fucking place on earth or whatever. It's like you go from like the glamorous White House to just like this drab like fucking cubicle, like, and it's just as miserable as she is. We get to a part where like she's complaining about like some fumes or whatever because like they're doing construction on like part of the ceiling like near her or whatever. So she gets her own office by complaining and bitching, and it's only because like somebody's out for a while or whatever. So it's like a temporary office. And then we meet Monika Lewinsky. For some reason, Monika Lewinsky has been exiled to the Department of Defense as well. Monica and Linda, they bond over, they're both fat. They have this conversation at lunch like about how like they were both picked on, you know what I'm saying, in school. Monica reveals though that this is just temporary, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be going back, and like Linda's like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm like stuck here, you know what I mean? I forgot to mention the part where before she gets exiled to the Department of Defense, there's a part where like the lady tries to tell Linda after she got the promotion, she's like, look, I tried. She was like, nobody likes you, nobody wants you, Monica. And then I just want to take a moment there to say shout out to like all the miserable, you know what I'm saying? First of all, like coming from like I've like y'all, like those who know, like I've worked years at like fucking call centers, you know what I'm saying, in office and administrative and clerical environments. And like what people like sometimes forget is you spend about a good, you know what I'm saying, 8 to 10 hours a day, whatever your profession is, you know what I'm saying, you spend like the majority of your time of your life with the people you work with. And you really hope that you like get along, if not tolerate them, you know what I'm saying? And so like this is the part of the show like that struck me, you know what I'm saying? Like where like even in the White House, even if you're not a political candidate, you know what I'm saying, even if you like work within, you know what I'm saying, whatever four walls or whatever, it's like a game of like it's a game of like who likes you, you know what I'm saying? And like shout out to everybody who's worked anywhere before COVID where you had to like go to a job and spend 8, 9, 10 hours a day with somebody that you just can't stand. And like again, when it comes to how this like first episode was set up, Monica, nobody likes you. You don't even like yourself. You are a miserable, fat, lonely bitch. You go home, you know what I'm saying, to like this nice house or whatever, this big empty house, and you have a fucking TV dinner in front of like, you know what I'm saying, in a dark living room. You know what I mean? And there was also like this montage where like Monika Lewinsky, she also lives like a lonely life. You know what I'm saying? She's a young intern. She's only 20 something or whatever. Like we get the sense that she's unhappy. She doesn't have any friends in Washington or whatever. She also goes home to an empty townhome, an empty apartment, and a TV dinner. So while they're at work, you know what I'm saying, I guess they make quick friends, you know what I'm saying? Again, like they have that lunch where like they bond with each other over how miserable and fat and lonely they are. But then where we get the setup, because like Monica's like, she kind of alludes to, or she hints to, that there's like somebody like she's talking to, like she's got like kind of like a sneaky link somewhere, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't say who, you know what I'm saying, exactly, but like Linda Tripp, old fat ass, you know what I'm saying, she's prying and like digging into like this young girl's life. There's like this one scene where like they get back to like Monica's desk or whatever, and like she's like looking like at all like the dates and like Monica's like agenda book or whatever, and like Monica, like, you nosy bitch, like this is like the part that I like, I mean not Monica, like Linda, like, you nosy bitch, and like this is like what I want to like know, like Monica, is this accurate? Like is this your like recount of like how your first like meeting or setup with like Linda was? Like, was she that invasive of like your personal shit? Like, did she just like walk up and go through like your personal planner, like, you know what I'm saying, like look for like fucking months ahead? And then she saw that, oh, you are going back on like inauguration day, you know what I'm saying? Going back to like the White House or whatever, you know what I mean? And then at the end of the episode, you know what I mean, Monica gets a phone call, and it's Clive Owen in way too much Bill Clinton prosthetics or whatever. Like Clive Owen, he's like an English actor, so it's gonna be funny like to see how he like shifts and stumbles and stutters through like Bill Clinton's Midwestern Arkansas accent or whatever. And like I said, like if you see it, like I don't know, it's just like way too much prosthetic or whatever. And then like we see Bill Clinton, and like the way he's introduced is like he's kind of like lecherous. He's like kind of like, hey cat, like, you know what I'm saying, like, hey sweet baby, you know what I'm saying? And she answers the phone like looking in the mirror like, oh hey handsome, like, and like they set up Monica's character, like the first episode, you know what I'm saying, Monica's character is like this meek, like little, oh I'm a shy little intern and I'm overweight and nobody, you know what I'm saying, I don't have any friends or whatever. And that was the end of the episode, you know what I'm saying? So oh shit, I forgot all about fucking Paula Jones. So again, I really don't mean to bash like the women on the show, but like this first episode like did really nothing for like the Me Too movement or whatever, because we get the scenes of Paula Jones or whatever, who like was basically Bill Clinton's first accuser of sexual harassment. She's like some like assistant something or whatever. She's like southern slow, like really like dumb kind of, like that's the character like that they're painting on Paula Jones or whatever. Like there's like this cringe-worthy like fucking like scene where I want an apology from the president because he took it out, and I want my husband to get a leading role or a walking role on Designing Women. And it's like, you're a dumb like broad who set yourself up to go into the hotel room with President Clinton or whatever, or Senator Clinton at the time, or governor, whatever he was. You didn't do whatever sexual favor he allegedly asked you for or whatever, and now like you want clout, you want him to apologize, but you want fame, you want your husband to be a celebrity from this. Like when they did like that press conference or whatever, like they fucking like dogged her out. They were like, yo, you set us up here to come here to tell us what the president may or may not have done or whatever, but you won't say what he did or didn't do. Like, you dumb bitch, stop wasting our time. You know what I'm saying? So we get Ann Coulter, you know what I'm saying, the lady who's playing Ann Coulter in this, who actually like looks a lot better than Ann Coulter herself or whatever. But we get our first scenes of Ann Coulter being like a conniving bitch. She's want to use Paula Jones as like a puppet basically to get at the Democrats and President Clinton and Clinton at the time. Also, speaking of clout chasing, I forgot the whole, you know what I'm saying, montage, or the whole, not montage, but I forgot the whole scenes where Linda's basically like looking for clout herself. She's again the picture they painted of Linda Tripp, this fat, unhappy, miserable, power hungry, struggling for a position, struggling for importance or whatever. She keeps meeting with like a book agent or whatever. But the book agent lady is like Linda, you gotta come up with something like girl, like you don't have like no juice, you don't have like nothing on the inside. Like the little bit of gossip that you do have is late. Nobody cares. And then when Linda, like, later on in the episode did come back to the lady and said, hey, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm basically struggling at this point, you know what I'm saying, I'm ready to write a book. The lady, like, bitch, you late, you know what I'm saying, like, ain't nobody, like, got shit, you know what I'm saying, that we want to hear from you, you know what I'm saying? So, again, like, this first episode didn't really do a good job. Like, all we see is, like, Monika the meek, you know what I'm saying, the victim who's not really making like good judgment when it comes to like picking friends in this instance. Like, stay away from like this older predatory lady that's like wanting to pry into your life, Monika. Then like all these older like women around her, you know what I'm saying? Like we'll see what Hillary, like I said, Edie Falco and Hillary Drag has to offer like later on in the series or whatever. But so far, like Linda, you are a big fat villain. That lady Leslie that worked with you, you kissed your way to your position. And I don't know. It's I'm still gonna watch. It's interesting. Again, like it's gonna be interesting to see what I remember from that long ago and like Google searching. Oh my gosh, did that really happen? But American Crime Story, Impeachment, episode 1. I give it 2 thumbs up. It got me. I'm hooked. I'll be in for like the next few episodes. I'll be into the series. And we'll see what happens. Stay tuned to Ty for more of these reviews and recaps. And let me know what you think. If you saw it, what were your thoughts? How many of you have had jobs or are working at a job where you work with a Linda Tripp, a miserable fat bitch that's in your business and that's just so unhappy? Drop down in the comments. Let me know. All right.